Have you ever caught yourself staring at the ceiling and wondering, why do I feel so empty inside? Maybe you remember a time when everyday life felt vivid, when simple things truly brought you joy. But now, even when something amazing happens, that spark just isn't there. What if I told you there's a surprising science-backed explanation for this mysterious emptiness, and that the answer has everything to do with something called a dopamine detox? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into why you feel this way and how you can bring back genuine joy and motivation to your life. Before we get into the details, if you're committed to personal growth, self-awareness, and becoming the best version of yourself, make sure to subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project and smash that notification bell so you never miss content that can honestly change your life. Let's zoom out for a second. Modern life is packed with more convenience and instant gratification than ever before. At any moment, you can order food without cooking, refresh your social feed to see who liked your latest photo, buy anything you want with a tap, or stream endless entertainment. Your brain is constantly getting tiny feel-good pings, those quick flashes of excitement or satisfaction. But here's the thing. These scattered spikes are quietly rewiring your mind and dulling your happiness. Maybe you've noticed it. The vacation you looked forward to for months only feels magical for the first few minutes. The treat you used to savor now just seems bland. Even hanging out with friends or working on your favorite hobby feels flat. It's not that you're numb or unhappy. It's more like someone turned down the color dial on your life. That, right there, is a sign your dopamine system is overwhelmed, and you might need a dopamine detox. Let's shed some light on what dopamine actually is. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but that's only partly true. In reality, dopamine is the fuel for pursuit, drive, and motivation. And it's what gets you excited to chase after something meaningful. As neuroscience research explains, dopamine isn't about the pleasure of reward, but the pleasure of pursuit. That energized feeling you get on your way to accomplishing something hard, that's dopamine in action. But, and this is critical, dopamine spikes without effort are dangerous in the long run. Immediate, easy dopamine hits from swiping, scrolling, munching, or shopping can destroy your system's natural balance. Research shows that consistently receiving high dopamine without effort eventually leads to a collapse in motivation and satisfaction. When you keep indulging in low-effort sources of dopamine, your brain gets so used to these quick hits that real, satisfying effort starts to feel boring or even uncomfortable. All right, I want to hear from you. Does this sound familiar? Drop a like if you're starting to recognize these patterns in yourself, and comment below with the biggest source of instant gratification in your day. Let's keep each other accountable and grow together. When you keep flooding your brain with fast, cheap dopamine, a weird thing happens. At first, you get a short rush of motivation. You want more of whatever gave you the hit. But over time, your baseline dopamine levels start to drop. The scientific research is clear. Overstimulating your dopamine system leads to lower motivation, less joy, and a dulled sense of satisfaction. It's like getting hooked on a roller coaster that never really ends. You crave the highs, but everything else just seems dull. Here's how this vicious cycle unfolds. You chase a quick, feel-good moment, maybe from food, likes, a new purchase, or another episode. You feel good for a minute, but then your baseline dips even lower. Now, everyday life, even things you used to love, feel dull. So, you chase another hit, then another, and soon, the high doesn't even feel good. It just feels necessary. You're not truly enjoying it anymore. You just need it to avoid feeling flat or anxious. If this sounds like your daily life, you're not alone. Social media, games, endless notifications, and streaming are engineered to deliver non-stop little spikes of dopamine with zero effort. Over weeks, months, or years, your baseline dopamine drops lower and lower, and your sense of joy, motivation, and color just fades. 6 minutes in, it's a perfect time to remind you. If you're finding value in this video, hit like, make sure you're subscribed, and let us know your story in the comments. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need this message. So what's the antidote? The answer might surprise you. It isn't more stimulation, it's less. The key is a deliberate dopamine detox. This is about cutting out, or at least dramatically reducing, those cheap instant sources of dopamine. The goal is to reset your brain's natural baseline so that real effort and authentic experiences actually feel good again. Let's talk tactics. Start by identifying your top sources of easy dopamine. Relentless social scrolling, binge watching, mindless snacking, compulsive online shopping, video games that hand out artificial fireworks for nothing, constant multitasking, and so on. Pick one or two to cut for even just a day. That's your first dopamine detox experiment. Try a screen-free Sunday. Go for a walk, journal, or just sit outside and do absolutely nothing. The boredom you feel is part of the process. It's your brain reclaiming its sensitivity to healthy dopamine. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. At first, you'll feel restless or anxious. This is a mini withdrawal as your brain screams for another quick fix. The agitation is real, but stick with it. Over time, that urge fades, and your true baseline starts to recover. There's a trend on social media where people challenge themselves to sit in complete stillness, no screens, no distractions, no productivity, for an extended period of time. Anyone can try this. Just see if you can sit, unplugged, for half an hour or an hour. See what surfaces. That's part of your dopamine detox. Next, shift your focus to effort-driven dopamine, or earned dopamine. Basically, it means pursuing goals or activities that are rewarding specifically because of the effort they require. Do things that are hard. Work out until you feel the burn. Cook a meal from scratch. Learn something new and challenging. Create or build something, or even finish a book. That surge of pride and satisfaction afterward? That's authentic, hard-earned dopamine, and it's sweeter than any instant hit. Imagine hiking to the top of a steep trail, sweaty and tired, but looking at the view, you feel alive. Or think about finally nailing a tricky chord progression on guitar after weeks of practice. That's effort-driven dopamine in action. By prioritizing these kinds of activities, you rewire your system to find pleasure in the process and pursuit, not just in the quick fix. If you reset your dopamine system in this way, you'll begin to notice something magical return. Suddenly, small things become enjoyable again. Shared meals, real conversations, hobbies you abandoned, they'll start to feel vibrant. You won't need to juggle 10 tabs just to feel awake or alive. You'll feel more present, more motivated, and more like your true self. And here's a powerful hack. Track your wins, no matter how small. Dopamine loves momentum. When you write down or reflect on progress, like finishing a workout, completing a tough task, or simply turning your phone off for a whole evening, your brain starts linking real effort to that deep, lasting sense of reward. Cut back on those non-stop quick fixes, whether it's mindless scrolling, snacking, or shopping on impulse. Add more pursuit, challenge, and authentic achievement into your daily life. Try a dopamine detox for even a day. You'll start to notice your joy returning, your motivation rising, and that hollow, empty feeling dissolving. Thanks for spending your time with us at the Growth Mindset Project. If this resonated, check out the next recommended video on your screen for more deep dives into the science of growth and happiness. And don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell so you'll always know when we drop something new. See you in the next one.